If your days often feel like a relentless uphill battle, marked by crushing stress, bone-deep exhaustion, and the heavy weight of feeling utterly stuck, please know you are far from alone in that struggle. Yet the profound difference between those who merely survive and those who truly soar, who break free from the cycle of wishing for change and actually create it, lies not in luck or circumstance, but in embracing a few fundamental truths. Master them, and you will unlock the doors to success and a life lived on your terms. Ignore them, and you risk remaining trapped in the same frustrating loop, forever questioning why your efforts yield so little. The first and perhaps most crucial battlefield is within your own mind. It is here in the landscape of your thoughts that the trajectory of your life is ultimately determined. Each day presents its unique set of challenges, doubts, and fears, whispering insidious limitations. But grasp this undeniable truth: your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you allow negativity to take root, your life will inevitably mirror that darkness. Conversely, if you consciously cultivate a mindset grounded in growth, unwavering discipline, and resilient strength, success will not just be a possibility, it will become a natural consequence. The key is to seize command of your inner dialogue. The deliberate power of a definite purpose and the conscious practice of auto-suggestion are not mere concepts. They are potent forces in shaping your very destiny. Your mind is a constant generator of conversation. What is it saying to you? Are you feeding it crippling doubts, or are you empowering it with resourceful solutions? Silence the "I can't" and ignite the "How can I?" The words you choose to speak to yourself possess immense power. Replace the comfortable refuge of excuses with the decisive force of execution. Stop lamenting, "I don't have time," and instead, ruthlessly prioritize. Discard the lie, "I am not good enough," and commit relentlessly to improvement. Banish the procrastination of "I will start tomorrow," and seize the electrifying power of starting now. Look at figures like Henry Ford or Andrew Carnegie. Their monumental successes were deeply rooted in an unshakable belief in their own capabilities. Every single excuse you dismantle propels you a vital step closer to the life you envision. Challenge those ingrained limiting beliefs that hold you captive. The greatest achievers throughout history were not granted special privileges, they simply mastered their internal world. Consider the compelling journey of Edwin C. Barnes. At the dawn of the 20th century, his singular ambition was to work alongside the legendary Thomas Edison. He possessed no wealth, no connections, and no formal education, yet he utterly refused to entertain the thought of defeat. Barnes didn't question the possibility of success, he declared its inevitability. He traveled to Edison's office, presented himself not as an employee, but as a potential business partner. Though initially dismissed by Edison, Barnes wouldn't relent. He accepted menial tasks within Edison's company for years, patiently waiting, watching for his moment. When the opportune time arrived, he seized it with absolute conviction, becoming a pivotal distributor for Edison's dictating machine and ultimately amassing significant wealth. He saw a gateway to opportunity where others saw only rejection. He didn't passively wait for perfect conditions, he actively created them. He didn't postpone action until he felt inspired, he moved forward despite his fears. Understand this deeply: success is first and foremost a mental game. When the insidious whisper of self-doubt arises, your most powerful countermeasure is action. Unwavering faith and persistent effort are the potent antidotes to the poison of failure. If you wait until you feel completely ready, you risk waiting forever. Fear thrives in the vacuum of inaction. It magnifies problems that exist only in your imagination. But the moment you take a single step forward, fear begins to shrink. With each action, you prove to yourself irrefutably that you are capable. When fear hisses that you will fail, stand tall and remind yourself that failure is not the opposite of success. It is an indispensable part of the learning process. No one achieves anything of significance without experiencing falls along the way. Every setback is a profound lesson waiting to be absorbed. Every mistake is valuable feedback guiding your next move. Every failure is a necessary stepping stone on the path toward mastery. Your mindset is the bedrock upon which everything you build rests. Strengthen it daily. Immerse yourself in books that challenge your perspectives and expand your understanding. Engage in powerful, growth-oriented conversations that gently but firmly push you beyond the edges of your comfort zone. Dedicate moments to quiet self-reflection, analyzing your progress and adjusting your course. Guard your mind as if it were the most precious fortress. Be fiercely mindful of what you consume, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. The information you take in, the thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you accept. Intentionally surround yourself with individuals who uplift, inspire, and energize you, not those who drain your spirit. Because once you achieve mastery over your mind, the external world no longer dictates your success. You do. Your life is a direct, undeniable reflection of your inner state. If you yearn to transform your life, the most powerful place to start is by transforming your thought. Train your mind, with deliberate intention, to recognize opportunity where others see only insurmountable obstacles. Train your mind to embrace responsibility rather than assigning blame. Train your mind to persist relentlessly rather than surrendering to the urge to quit. As the timeless wisdom teaches, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it has the power to achieve. And when you truly embody this, success will not just be possible, it will become an absolute certainty, an inevitable outcome. Furthermore, cultivate unbreakable discipline. Relying solely on motivation is a precarious gamble. It is an unreliable, fleeting force. Discipline, however, is an unstoppable tide. Far too many people fall into the trap of waiting for the right mood or the perfect moment to finally take action. But the individuals who consistently achieve great things, they move forward regardless of how they feel in the moment. They understand that depending on motivation is like waiting for an unpredictable wind to push you. It is inconsistent, capricious, and ultimately undependable. Discipline is the invisible, yet incredibly powerful force that distinguishes those who merely dream from those who consistently achieve. It is the silent strength that compels you to rise from your warm bed when your body aches for more sleep. It is the unwavering commitment that propels you to the gym, even when every muscle protests. It is the quiet, persistent dedication that drives you to work diligently, even when there is no one around to offer applause or recognition. Discipline is the vital bridge between intention and execution, and those who master it forge themselves into unstoppable forces. The secret lies in making discipline a non-negotiable habit, an intrinsic part of who you are, not an optional activity you engage in when you feel like it. When you train your mind and body to act regardless of your emotional state, you eliminate the dependency on fickle motivation. Instead of asking yourself, "Do I feel like doing this today?" you simply decide, "This is what I do. This is who I am." Success is not the result of occasional bursts of inspired effort. It is the cumulative outcome of consistent, dedicated action. It's not about working hard only when inspiration strikes. It's about showing up and putting in the work, day after relentless day. Establish clear, non-negotiable commitments, actions you will take, without exception, no matter what internal or external resistance you face. Whether it's adhering to a set wake-up time, engaging in physical exercise daily, or dedicating a specific block of time to learning or working on your most important goals, these commitments must become woven into the fabric of your identity. You don't skip them. You don't enter into negotiations with yourself about them. They are simply core components of who you are and what you do. Train your willpower like a muscle. Just as physical strength is built through consistently pushing against resistance, mental strength grows through intentionally embracing discomfort. Start small. Make your bed the moment you rise. Read just 10 pages of a challenging book. Take a bracing cold shower. These seemingly small acts of discipline compound over time, gradually rewiring your brain to take control rather than being tossed about by fleeting emotions and transient desires. Once you have mastered these foundational acts of self-control, you can progressively level up, taking on larger challenges, setting higher standards, and pushing beyond your previously perceived limits. With consistent practice, discipline ceases to be something you consciously do. It transforms into an intrinsic part of who you are. It becomes your undeniable identity. While others falter because they don't feel like it, you keep moving forward, propelled by an internal force greater than mood. When motivation inevitably wanes, you remain unshaken. And when challenges arise, you don't retreat, you step confidently into the arena. The profound truth is this: cultivating an unbreakable discipline makes you utterly unstoppable. When you forge this relentless inner drive, nothing, absolutely nothing, can genuinely stand in your way for long. Dreams do not magically become reality through wishful thinking or idle hope. They are meticulously forged through unwavering discipline, applied day after day, action after deliberate action. And that, unequivocally, is how you engineer your own victory. Dare to set goals so ambitious they make you feel a little uneasy, because comfort zones are often the silent graveyards where dreams quietly perish. They offer a deceptive sense of safety, familiar routines, and predictable outcomes, but they also ruthlessly suffocate potential and growth. If you never venture beyond the boundaries of what feels comfortable and known, you will never discover the breathtaking expanse of what is truly possible for you. Genuine success demands that you intentionally step into discomfort, embrace the inherent uncertainty that comes with pushing boundaries, and challenge yourself in ways that compel you to evolve into a stronger, more capable version of yourself. You must set objectives that stretch you beyond your current capabilities, goals that necessitate growth to achieve. True transformation doesn't happen within the cozy confines of familiarity. It unfolds in the exhilarating unknown, precisely where doubt and fear inevitably surface. The prevailing issue is that most people consciously choose to set small, safe goals because they are paralyzed by the fear of failure. They crave certainty and seek to maintain a sense of control, but in doing so, they tragically stunt their own potential before it even has a chance to blossom. Yet here is the liberating truth. Failing is not a possibility to be avoided. It is an inevitable part of the journey toward any significant achievement. No matter how small or safe your aspirations, you will encounter setbacks, stumble, and sometimes fall. Playing small doesn't somehow protect you from failure. In fact, it guarantees it, albeit a different kind of failure, the failure to ever truly try, the failure to explore the vast landscape of your own potential. The individuals who achieve true greatness are not those who magically avoid failure, but those who courageously use it as powerful fuel for their continued progress. If your goals don't genuinely challenge you, they will not authentically change you. Growth requires resistance, and real lasting progress is undeniably forged in the crucible of struggle. Set goals that are crystal clear, measurable, and undeniably push you beyond your current comfort limits. Commit them to right. Break them down into manageable, actionable steps that you can begin taking immediately. Make your aspirations tangible blueprints for success, not just vague, distant dreams. And most importantly, commit to them with an unyielding resolve. There is no room for "I'll try," or "maybe someday." Those phrases are subtle invitations to hesitation, and hesitation is the silent killer of momentum. Make the resolute decision that your goals are non-negotiable obligations to yourself and your future. Success is not the exclusive domain of the most inherently talented. It belongs to those who simply refuse to quit in the face of adversity. The fundamental difference between those who ultimately make it and those who do not is rarely intelligence, luck, or privileged circumstances. It is almost universally persistent. Decide with absolute conviction that failure is not an acceptable excuse to abandon your pursuits, but rather a necessary stepping stone guiding you toward progress. Every setback is a vital lesson learned. Every mistake provides invaluable data for recalibration. Every stumble is an opportunity to rise again, stronger and wiser than before. The most accomplished individuals in the world are not the ones who have never failed. They are the ones who have failed countless times, learned from each experience, and resolutely refused to stop moving forward. Dream bigger than you have ever dared to dream before. Set goals that feel just beyond your current grasp, demanding that you stretch and grow to reach them. Then pursue them with relentless passion and unwavering determination. Force yourself to step outside the cozy confines of your comfort zone. Courageously embrace the exhilarating uncertainty of the unknown, and commit fully to the pursuit. It is precisely in that space, beyond the familiar, that true success is conceived and born. Furthermore, liberate yourself from the debilitating need for external approval. Far too many people live their lives trapped in a constant quest for validation from others. They hesitate to act, they hold back their true potential, and they silence their authentic voices, all for the sake of avoiding judgment or criticism. They allow the opinions of others to become the primary measure of their own worth, seeking external permission before daring to take even the smallest step forward. But understand this profound truth: The very moment you genuinely stop caring about what others think of you, you unlock a level of freedom you never thought possible. The reality is, people will form opinions and judge you no matter what you do or how you choose to live. Whether you cautiously play it safe or boldly take significant risks, someone, somewhere, will inevitably have an opinion about it. Some will offer praise, others will deliver criticism, and many will simply fail to understand your path at all. But here is the crucial insight: their judgments are rarely about you, they are almost always a reflection of them, shaped by their own fears, their insecurities, and their inherent limitations. So why, in the name of your own potential, would you ever allow their words or opinions to dictate the course of your life? The only voice that genuinely matters, the only opinion that holds true weight, is the one resonating within your own heart and mind. If you perpetually seek external validation, you will never truly experience what it means to live a life of genuine authenticity and freedom. You will remain trapped, forever adjusting yourself, contorting your true nature to fit into someone else's narrow set of expectations. But the transformative moment arrives when you begin to truly listen to your own inner voice, when you choose to trust yourself above all external noise and opinions. That is when you reclaim your innate power and begin to steer your own ship. Live unapologetically according to your deepest value. Clearly define what truly matters to you at your core, and absolutely refuse to compromise on those principles for the sake of pleasing others. Stop exhausting yourself trying to be universally liked. Instead, channel that energy into being authentically, truthfully yourself. The right people, the individuals who are truly meant to be part of your journey, will not only accept you, but they will deeply respect you for your unwavering authenticity. And for those who don't, well, they simply weren't meant to walk alongside you on this path anyway. Courageously follow your own unique vision, even if no one else sees it yet. Throughout history, many of the greatest minds and pioneers were initially misunderstood, often ridiculed, doubted, and dismissed by their contemporaries, but they did not stop. They did not shrink themselves or compromise their vision to conform to the limited expectations of others. They possessed a burning vision, and they pursued it with an unyielding, relentless conviction. Choose to be one of those people. Trust in the validity and direction of your own path, even when it appears unclear or unconventional to others. Do what genuinely ignites your soul, what sets your spirit ablaze, even if those around you fail to comprehend your passion. That kind of intrinsic passion is a rare and incredibly powerful force, and it cannot and should not be extinguished by the doubts or judgments of others. If something genuinely excites you, fuels your energy, and makes you feel vibrantly alive, chase it with everything you have. Ignore the external noise, actively drown out the doubts, both from others and the insidious ones that may arise within you. You do not need anyone's permission to live the life you deeply desire, because ultimately, years from now, the crushing weight of regretting the chances you didn't take, the life you didn't dare to live authentically, will always sting far more painfully than the temporary sting of someone else's judgment. So stop hesitating. Release the need for external validation. Be unapologetically, courageously yourself, and let the world, if necessary, adjust to the powerful force of your authenticity. Furthermore, deliberately choose to embrace the struggle. Understand this fundamental truth: no one, absolutely no one, has ever achieved greatness without confronting and navigating significant adversity. Yet the common human tendency is to view struggle as an immediate sign to quit, a compelling reason to retreat, or a convenient excuse to remain comfortably stagnant. The liberating truth is precisely the opposite. Struggle is not a sign of failure. It is irrefutable proof that you are actively growing, expanding, and evolving. It is the intense fire that forges the unbreakable steel of resilience within you. It is the turbulent storm that tests and strengthens the foundational pillars of your character. It is the necessary test that determines your worthiness to reach higher ground. Every single challenge you encounter, every obstacle you face, is actively shaping you, molding you into the stronger, wiser, more capable person you are destined to become. Growth is not cultivated in the sterile environment of ease and comfort. It is forged in the act of pushing through discomfort, in the relentless effort required to overcome resistance. When life deliberately tests you, it is not attempting to break your spirit. It is intentionally trying to make you stronger. Struggles refine your character, discipline your mind, and fortify your unwavering will. They impart lessons that a life of ease could never teach. the profound value of perseverance, the critical skill of adaptability, and the deep well of inner strength you possess. Every setback is a teacher, offering invaluable wisdom. Failure is not the antithesis of success. It is an integral, essential part of the very process of achieving it. The most successful individuals on the planet have failed far more times than most people have even dared to try. They did not surrender when circumstances became difficult. They did not permit temporary defeat to define their identity or limit their future. Instead, they meticulously studied their failures, extracting crucial wisdom and insights from them, and then returned to the arena, stronger, smarter, and more determined than before. That unequivocally is the mindset of a true champion. Every hardship is a potent opportunity to rise higher and emerge stronger than you were before. The majority of people instinctively shy away from discomfort, constantly seeking the path of least resistance. But understand this clearly: the path of least resistance rarely, if ever, leads anywhere truly worth going. Genuine achievement requires struggle. It demands that you push yourself beyond your perceived limit. The most significant victories in life are exclusively reserved for those who are willing to endure, to keep moving forward with grit and determination even when every fiber of their being screams at them to stop. Those who ultimately win are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are, overwhelmingly, simply the ones who refuse to give up, no matter the odds or the difficulty. Stop running from the difficulties that life inevitably presents. Instead, turn and embrace them fully. Learn everything they have to teach you. Use the energy they create as fuel to propel you forward. See struggle not as an obstacle to be lamented, but as the very force that will elevate you, refining you into gold. The pain, the frustration, the bone-deep exhaustion, it is all a necessary part of the journey. Every single time you push through discomfort, you become undeniably stronger, immeasurably wiser, and progressively more unstoppable. The path to success is not designed to be easy, but that is precisely what imbues the destination with such profound value and makes the journey itself so rewarding. If achieving significant success were simple and effortless, everyone would possess it already. The struggle serves a vital purpose. It effectively weeds out those who lack true commitment and unwavering resolve. It clearly separates the passive dreamers from the active doers, the wishful thinkers from the relentless warriors who are willing to pay the price. And when you finally stand victorious at your goal, knowing the depth of the struggle you endured to get there, the triumph will taste infinitely sweeter. When you finally cease fearing the struggle and consciously choose to embrace it as a necessary ally, nothing that life throws at you can truly break your spirit. Hardships will inevitably come, but they will not defeat you. Challenges will undoubtedly arise, but they will not stop your forward momentum, because you will have internalized the profound lesson that struggle is not your enemy. It is in fact your greatest and most powerful ally in the relentless pursuit of your highest potential. Crucially, deliberately and decisively remove toxic influences from your life. Understand that your environment plays a management role in shaping your success or hindering it. The people you choose to spend your time with, the prevailing energy you consistently absorb, and the standards you tacitly accept from your surroundings all exert a powerful influence on your potential. If you allow yourself to be surrounded by individuals characterized by laziness, persistent negativity, and a lack of ambition, their limiting mindsets will inevitably seep into your own consciousness, often without you even realizing it. Their habits, their attitudes, their self-imposed limitations will over time shape your own. But consider the transformative opposite. When you intentionally surround yourself with ambitious, disciplined, and driven individuals who are actively striving for more, you will inevitably be elevated to their level. High achievers naturally expect more of themselves, and simply being in their orbit creates a powerful gravitational pull that compels you to raise your own standards and level up your efforts. Their mindset, their relentless work ethic, and their unwavering discipline become subtly contagious, inspiring you to mirror their positive traits. They challenge you constructively, they push you beyond your comfort zones, and they make you undeniably better. Success is not solely determined by innate talent or random luck. It is profoundly influenced by the environment you consciously choose to immerse yourself in. Conduct a rigorous audit of your inner circle. Take a brutally honest look at the individuals who occupy significant space in your life. Do they genuinely inspire you, lift your spirits, and encourage your growth? Or do they consistently drain your energy, sow seeds of doubt, and pull you down with their negativity? Do they challenge you to actively grow and evolve, or do they enable you to remain comfortably stagnant in your current state? The difficult truth is that not everyone deserves a permanent seat at the table of your life and your future. Some individuals function as anchors, unknowingly or knowingly holding you back with their constant doubts, their pervasive excuses, and their draining negativity. Others are like powerful engines, propelling you forward with their unwavering belief in your potential, their contagious ambition, and their relentless drive. Make the courageous decision to cut ties, or at least create significant distance, from those who consistently drain your vital energy and stifle your spirit. This is not about being ruthless or heartless. It is about fiercely protecting your future and safeguarding your most precious asset, your potential. You simply cannot afford to allow small-minded people with limited perspectives to prevent you from seizing the big opportunities that await you. You cannot permit toxic relationships, regardless of their nature, to poison your mindset and erode your belief in yourself. Create necessary distance from individuals who actively disbelieve in you, who mock your aspirations, or who make you feel as though your goals are unrealistic or unattainable. Your future is far too important to be unduly influenced by the wrong people. Every conversation you engage in, every interaction you have, every connection you maintain either strengthens or weakens your resolve and your forward momentum. Choose your company wisely and intentionally. Surround yourself with individuals who consistently make you better, who challenge you to aim higher than you thought possible, and who hold you accountable to the highest vision of your own greatness. Your inner circle should serve as a powerful reflection of where you are resolutely headed, not a stagnant reminder of where you have been, because ultimately, the company you choose to keep will either powerfully push you toward achieving greatness, or subtly but surely pull you away from it. It is that simple, that critical. If you genuinely desire success, strategically position yourself in an environment that actively breeds it, an environment where aspiration is the norm and effort is celebrated. Actively seek out mentors who have walked the path before you, role models who embody the qualities you admire, and peers who align with your vision and share your drive. Learn voraciously from those who have already achieved what you aspire to accomplish. Consciously raise your standards for yourself and for those you allow into your closest circle, and most importantly, become the kind of person that others who are striving for greatness want to elevate alongside. You are, in a very real sense, the sum total of the people you spend the most time with. Make absolutely certain that sum adds up to the potential for your greatest self. Further still, master the profound art of focused attention, for distraction is the silent assassin of ambition. In this age, countless precious hours are squandered in idle amusement, lost in frivolous diversions that dull the sharpness of the mind and weaken the resolve of the spirit. Instead of engaging in diligent, purposeful labor, many indulge in meaningless chatter and unproductive pastimes, tragically failing to grasp that every single moment frittered away is a priceless opportunity, carelessly forsaken. The timeless truth remains immutable. Great achievement is not merely a consequence of natural ability or innate talent, but rather the direct result of unwavering, concentrated effort. Those who possess the discipline to harness their attention with precision shall inevitably carve their own remarkable destiny. The industrious spirit understands this truth deeply. They know, instinctively, that steadfast, focused toil forms the unshakable foundation of prosperity and meaningful accomplishment. They guard their time with the fierce protectiveness one would reserve for a great treasure, recognizing that every needless distraction, every indulgence in triviality, ruthlessly robs them of a future they could be actively building. They do not permit themselves to be easily waylaid by the superficial demands and fleeting temptations of the world. Instead, they consciously cultivate an environment conducive to focused industry and unwavering determination, deliberately free from the idle chatter and indulgent pursuits that lead only to stagnation and regret. One must diligently train the mind to resolutely shut out the incessant noise of distraction. In a world overflowing with temptations vying for your attention, the wise individual remains anchored and firm in their purpose. They do not carelessly fritter away their invaluable time in the company of the idle or squander their evenings in senseless amusements that offer no lasting value. They rise with intention, clearly define the tasks that lie before them, and commit to their work with an earnestness that borders on reverence. Those who master this indispensable skill of focused concentration will inevitably surpass those who succumb to the seductive pull of idleness. Guard your hours with the utmost discipline. If you fail to do so, the demands, expectations, and distractions of others will inevitably consume them for you. Time is arguably the most valuable, non-renewable resource any individual possesses. It must be utilized with profound wisdom and intentionality. Deliberately dedicate specific, protected portions of each day to uninterrupted, focused labor on your most important tasks, and resolutely refuse to permit anything or anyone to intrude upon that sacred time. Learn the power of politely but firmly refusing distractions, unnecessary obligations, and any pursuit that does not actively contribute to the furtherance of your clearly defined aim. Every single moment willingly surrendered to frivolity is a moment brutally stolen from the potential for progress and meaningful achievement. When you labor, do so with an intense vigor that reflects the importance of your goals. Half-hearted effort yields nothing of substance or lasting value. Dispel with the foolish notion of dividing your attention across multiple tasks simultaneously. Such folly only leads to carelessness, errors, and diluted results. Apply yourself wholly with complete and undivided focus to the task immediately at hand, whether it pertains to your professional pursuits, the responsibilities of your home life, or the continuous betterment of your mind and body. The most accomplished individuals throughout history are those who consistently lend their entire, unwavering focus to their endeavors, unswayed and undeterred by trivial diversions or the pull of convenience. Where the mind is steadfastly fixed upon a worthy goal, tangible results shall inevitably follow. Conversely, an individual who habitually devotes their time and energy to distractions will ultimately reap only the bitter harvest of regret, while the one who fixes their gaze upon diligent industry and unwavering self-improvement shall discover the path to authentic success and fulfillment. The mind, when disciplined and focused, stands as the most powerful instrument of progress available to us. Use it wisely, deliberately, and with unwavering intention. Master your focus, and you shall ultimately master your own fate. Great individuals do not scatter their precious efforts aimlessly in countless directions. They channel their finite energies with calculated precision and unwavering intent towards their most significant objective. Banish the seductive lure of folly, sharpen the clarity and focus of your thoughts, and commit yourself wholly to your purpose. In a world drowning in wasted hours and diluted effort, the individual committed to diligence and focused action shall always rise above the mediocre noise. Simultaneously, cultivate relentless self-belief, for the world will inevitably cast its shadows of doubt upon you. People, sometimes even those closest to you, will declare that you lack the necessary ability, that you are somehow unworthy of the success you seek, or that your dreams are simply unattainable. But understand this critical truth: their words hold absolutely no power over you, unless you make the conscious decision to grant them weight and validity. The single strongest, most transformative force you possess in your life is your own unwavering self-belief. For if an individual does not possess fundamental belief in themselves, how can they possibly expect anyone else in the world to do so? You must actively train your mind, with deliberate practice, to silence the insidious voice of self-doubt whenever it arises. In moments of trial, when challenges seem overwhelming and the path appears uncertain, you must stand firm in your conviction, consciously recalling your inherent strengths and past accomplishments, no matter how small, rather than dwelling on perceived weaknesses or past failures. You must purposefully remind yourself, over and over again, of your past victories, allowing them to serve as irrefutable evidence of your capability and resilience. The words you choose to speak to yourself internally must be those of empowerment, certainty, and unwavering possibility, for an individual's thoughts are the fundamental architects of their destiny. When the external world declares with discouraging certainty, you cannot let your actions, your persistence, and your unwavering belief loudly proclaim, the doubters, the skeptics, the naysayers, they are merely background noise, temporary distractions in the grand, purposeful march of your progress towards your goals. History is replete with examples of individuals who achieved greatness precisely because they chose to disregard the ridicule and skepticism of the crowd, and pressed forward with an unwavering, almost stubborn conviction in their own vision and ability. Genuine confidence is not synonymous with arrogance. It is the quiet inner assurance, the deep-seated conviction that one is adequately prepared, capable, and resilient enough to face and overcome the challenges that lie ahead. It is the inner steel that allows an individual to stand tall, maintain their composure, and move forward with purpose even in the face of overwhelming adversity. The truly confident do not feel the need to boast loudly of their abilities. They quietly and consistently prove them through their actions and their results. They do not desperately seek external validation or constant approval from others, for they possess the profound understanding that their inherent worth and potential are not determined by outside opinions, but solely by the strength of their own will, their own effort, and their own self-belief. You must actively cultivate this unshakable belief in yourself, nurturing it and guarding it as you would a priceless treasure, for it is the absolute bedrock upon which all significant success is ultimately built. You must remind yourself, with conscious intention, every single day, that you are inherently capable, that you are intrinsically worthy of the success you seek, and that you are actively, purposefully forging your own unique path forward, independent of external validation or permission. The world has never, historically, rewarded those who shrink away from challenges or hesitate in the face of doubt. It is the bold, the resolute, the steadfast individuals, those possessed by an unyielding self-belief, who courageously step forward and carve their names into the annals of history. And once an individual has successfully developed this unwavering faith in their own potential, no external force, be it daunting hardship, determined opposition, or even temporary failure, can ultimately deter them from their chosen course. Believe in yourself, with the fierce conviction it deserves, and watch as the world gradually begins to align with your vision. But hesitate, falter in your belief, and the opportunities, the possibilities will inevitably pass you by. Stand firm in your convictions, hold your head high with quiet dignity, and move forward with the absolute certainty that you are destined for great things. For it is not the fleeting approval or disapproval of others that truly determines your ultimate fate. It is irrevocably the indomitable strength of your own belief in yourself that holds the key. Furthermore, commit wholeheartedly to taking massive action, for ideas, in isolation, hold absolutely no intrinsic value. An individual may possess brilliant insights, meticulously crafted plans, and vivid visions of grand possibilities, but without the crucial element of decisive action, these remain nothing more than ephemeral, idle fantasies drifting just beyond reach. Far too many people sit passively and wait, often indefinitely, for the elusive perfect time to finally begin pursuing their aspirations. But the stark, undeniable truth is this: there is no mythical perfect time. There is only the ever-present reality of wasted time. The longer an individual hesitates, the further their dreams recede, drifting beyond their grasp, becoming increasingly difficult to retrieve. The world does not generously reward the thinker who fails to act upon their thoughts. It does not spontaneously grant fortune or significant achievement to those who linger perpetually in the comfort zone of hesitation and inaction. Overthinking, the endless analysis without forward movement, is the insidious enemy of all meaningful progress, and the making of excuses regardless of their perceived validity is the common refuge of the weak, the fearful, and the undecided. An individual may diligently fill their mind with vast quantities of knowledge and information, but if they fail to apply that knowledge through deliberate action, they remain functionally stagnant, their potential unrealized. It is not the person with the most brilliant or innovative ideas who ultimately succeeds, but the one who possesses the courage and conviction to actually act upon those ideas, to put them into motion in the real world. You must actively seize the present moment, for opportunity is a fleeting phenomenon that rarely lingers indefinitely waiting for permission. Fortune, it is often said, favors the bold and the decisive, not the idle or the hesitant. You must willingly take calculated risks, courageously embrace the inevitability of failure as a learning tool, and diligently learn from every misstep, every setback, every perceived error along the way. Mistakes are not definitive signs of incompetence or inherent inability. They are in reality necessary stepping stones on the path toward true mastery and competence. The individual who never makes a mistake has, by definition, never truly tried anything challenging or significant, and the one who never tries anything significant shall, with absolute certainty, never achieve anything of lasting value. The individual who allows the fear of failure to paralyze them more than the discomfort of stagnation will inevitably find themselves forever confined within the boundaries of mediocrity. Confidence, the inner conviction of one's capability, is not a gift passively received. It is a quality that is actively and consciously built, stone by stone, through the consistent practice of taking action, especially in the face of uncertainty. No individual has ever gained physical strength by merely watching another person toil and exert themselves. No individual has ever become truly skilled in any craft or endeavor by simply imagining success or observing others perform. The master craftsman refines their art through countless hours of dedicated labor. The formidable warrior sharpens their combat skills through rigorous, challenging battles, and the effective leader rises to prominence by making difficult decisions and taking decisive action when others hesitate. The more an individual does, the more they undeniably grow. Strength is forged in the fire of sustained effort, and profound wisdom is gained through the rich and varied tapestry of lived experience. Let no individual deceive themselves with the false comfort of procrastination or the illusion of waiting for the right moment. The path to greatness is exclusively walked by those who possess the courage to take the crucial first step before they feel completely ready, before all the variables are perfectly aligned, before all fear has dissipated. It is not the overly cautious planner, perpetually waiting for the stars to align in perfect cosmic harmony, who ultimately commands their. It is the individual who takes decisive action, who learns rapidly from the consequences of their actions, who adapts flexibly to changing circumstances, and who presses forward relentlessly despite the inherent uncertainty of the journey. The world and its boundless opportunities and rewards undeniably belongs to the doers, not the passive dreamers. So cast aside your lingering doubt. Abandon, once and for all, the self-defeating notion that another day, another hour, or some mythical future moment will somehow serve you better than this very moment. The greatest individuals throughout history did not passively wait for permission or perfect conditions. They took the audacious leap. They began before they felt entirely ready. They learned and adapted fiercely along the way, and they pressed forward with an indomitable, relentless determination that refused to be swayed or stopped. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Act now. There is no conceivable road to significant success that is paved with inaction or indecision. The only viable path forward is the one actively built, step by deliberate step, by the actions you choose to take today, right now. Move swiftly, move boldly, and permit no external force or internal resistance to deter you from your chosen course. For it is not the individual who waits patiently on the sidelines, but the individual who decisively moves forward, who ultimately shapes and determines their own extraordinary destiny. Finally, commit yourself, without reservation, to the lifelong process of never stopping your own growth. There is no ultimate finish line in the pursuit of self-improvement and personal excellence. An individual does not reach a definitive point in their life where they have learned all there is to know, nor do they ever truly arrive at a final station where further growth and evolution are no longer necessary. The very moment an individual ceases to actively learn, they inevitably begin to decline, their potential shrinking, their capabilities diminishing. Stagnation is the slow, insidious death of potential, and complacency, the comfortable satisfaction with the status quo, is the cunning enemy of all meaningful progress. An individual must commit themselves wholeheartedly to a philosophy of lifelong improvement, for true, lasting success is not a static destination to be reached and then simply inhabited, but an unending dynamic journey of continuous evolution and becoming. Growth is not an option, it is a fundamental duty for every individual who aspires to excellence in any area of their life. You must consciously nourish your mind with knowledge and challenging ideas, just as you would diligently nourish your body with healthy food, for the intellect, if left unfed and unchallenged, will wither and diminish like an untended field. Continuously seek out opportunities to learn new skills, acquire new knowledge, and develop new capabilities, for the individual who ceases to improve themselves progressively becomes ill-equipped and unfit to meet the ever-changing demands and challenges of the world around them. Comfort, while superficially appealing, is often a powerful sedative that lulls the weak into a state of comfortable mediocrity. But the strong, the truly ambitious, remain ever restless, ever striving, ever reaching for greater heights and deeper understanding. An individual must consciously and willingly challenge themselves, pushing against their own perceived limitations. They must not shrink away from hardship or discomfort, For struggle, when embraced, is the refining fire that tempers the soul, forging resilience and inner strength. They must never, ever accept good enough as a final destination, for good enough is often the safe, comfortable refuge of those who secretly fear the immense potential and demands of true greatness. There is no genuine pride or lasting honor in remaining precisely the same person year after year, no inherent virtue in refusing to push beyond one's current limits and capabilities. The individual who consistently fails to challenge themselves is sadly often doomed to live a life characterized by unrealized potential and quiet regret. The greatest, most impactful investment any individual will ever make is the investment they make in themselves, in their continuous learning, their skill development, their character refinement, and their personal growth. Gold and material riches may be gained and subsequently lost, but the mind, once sharpened by discipline and expanded by knowledge, remains an invaluable tool of almost limitless potential and worth. Knowledge, unwavering discipline, and refined skill, these are the true and enduring measures of an individual's wealth and value. The one who consistently invests in their own growth secures for themselves a future built upon a foundation of strength, adaptability, and boundless opportunity. Success is not the culmination of a finite journey, it is the exhilarating process of continuous evolution, of perpetually becoming a better version of who you were yesterday. The wise individual understands intuitively that no single summit marks the definitive end of their ascent, for beyond every conquered peak lies another, even higher one, yet to be explored and potentially conquered. The pursuit of excellence is not a temporary project, it is a lifelong, consuming endeavor, and those who courageously embrace it never find themselves idle, aimless, or devoid of purpose. So, maintain that insatiable hunger for growth. Let no single day pass without intentionally learning something new, without deliberately stretching your abilities in some way, without consciously strengthening the resilience and capacity of your mind. Remain perpetually curious about the world, about yourself, about the possibilities that lie before you. Actively seek wisdom in every experience, extracting valuable lessons from every failure and every setback, and cultivate your mind and spirit with the same dedication and care that a farmer tends to their most precious crops. Commit yourself, with unwavering resolve, to becoming just a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser, every single day. The years of your life will pass inevitably, whether you choose to actively strive and grow, or passively stand still and remain stagnant. But only those who choose the path of relentless striving and continuous self-improvement will ultimately look back upon their lives with a profound sense of satisfaction, pride, and fulfillment. Because, in the final analysis, the person you courageously become through your efforts, your struggles, and your commitment to growth is without question your single greatest and most enduring achievement. No external fortune, no impressive title, no level of external acclaim, however significant, will ever surpass the intrinsic, immeasurable worth of a mind sharpened by unwavering discipline and a spirit forged through the relentless fire of continuous growth and becoming. Now, let the journey begin.